Okay, so what we're going to do here is go into the DeveloperWorks recipes section. If you go to developer.ibm.com/recipes, you will see the following website. And essentially this is a place where one can go in and do development around, create tutorials, combine them, and inspire additional new projects. So this is the place where we go to do that. You have the ability to search on these. There are several here, several pages of recipes, if you will, and what a recipe is essentially a tutorial of how to connect things together, being sensors in the Internet of Things space. So what we have here is, I'll go ahead and search ARM because I know that that's the one that I want to work on, and that's the one we're going to be displaying today. There are several that appear when we do that, and we're going to start with part 1. I'll get into what part 2 is in just a bit. But if we start down the path of part 1, you can see here what all is required. The first link that you can click on is actually the ARM Embed Ethernet Starter Kit, which is here, and it links you to ARM's development website, which shows you where you can purchase or how to purchase this actual device and what all it comes with. So it actually contains everything that's needed for the first recipe, which would be your Freescale K64F board, and then also the shield, as well as a USB cable is included in the box, and it's boxed up and ready to go. So we'll follow this recipe down to the next step. Here is prepare. So getting the device ready, plug the boards together. So you'll take this Freescale board and this shield, and we'll actually plug them together by simply marrying up the pins on both sides, and then they're ready to go. Next we'll take, it says to connect a network cable. So this is an Ethernet Cat5e connected through a router to the internet. So I'm going to go ahead and connect that to our boards. So it looks like this. The next piece is to connect the USB cable. So the USB cable actually connects to provide power. So although the Ethernet is there, we still need power. So that's what this will do. Now essentially, as soon as you connect, it appears, if this is connected to your PC, it appears as an embed additional drive on your computer, and that's how you would make changes to the software on the board if you need to. However, this actually doesn't require you to make changes to the software. It comes out of the box ready to connect to the IBM IoT Foundation. So you'll see here that it's already connected. That's what this is indicating here. If we scroll down, you can actually go to this site and connect and show the sensor information coming into from this device, which we're going to do in just a second. And so before you can do that, though, you need to page down one more and get your device identity. So that's your MAC address for your device, and that's showing and displaying there. So if we go to the IoT Foundation and enter our MAC address in here and click on the Go button, you'll notice that it starts pulling in the data from this device to the internet, through the internet to our Internet of Things Foundation. So as I scroll down here to the bottom, you'll see we put together a nice chart of the information and data that's coming in, depending on what exactly it is. This is accelerometer data, it looks like. And then we also have below here a few other data points, and I'd like to point them out on the screen as well as in the demo, showing them to you on the board itself. So accelerometer is actually right here. You'll notice that we have accelerometer built into this board. So that's the X, Y, and Z axis, the 3 axes that you see here. Temperature is another one. We have a temperature sensor right on the board, and that's coming across currently at 28.75 degrees Celsius. And then if you go down just a bit further to the information that's being pulled in, we have a joystick, which is down here. And this is what I was using to page down through, and it's displaying the LCD information as I'm paging down. So this has an up, down, right, left, and you'll see it's at the center at the moment on the screen in the foundation. But as I'm paging down, you'll see it update to down on the screen. As I'm paging up, obviously it will upgrade and show you the up as well. So, and then we also have a potentiometer, which is here on each side. So those, as they're changed, the data is coming across, and that information is being changed on the screen in the foundation as well. You'll see it has a local IP address from my router, which is displayed. The gateway is here, the app version, and the current timeout in milliseconds is viewed on the LCD as well. So we'll page back up, and we'll go and show. You may ask me now, what can this information do, right? We have all this data coming in from these various sensors of this microcontroller. What can we do with that information? Well, as you can see, we can go back to the recipe itself, and it explains a little bit more. Visualizing our data, we can actually click on, and it will bring us to the IoT Foundation, which we're at already. You can get to that many different ways. They're showing you that way. We can also go, as I mentioned here on the screen, and type in that web address, and it will take us there too. The other piece of it is actually creating an application to process the device data. And that's what I'm going to show now. So if we go back to the foundation, you'll see here that you can actually log into your Bluemix account. Up to the top, I'm already logged into my Bluemix account. You can then create an app using the IoT Starter Kit, the IoT Starter app from the catalog. So you simply click on that app from the catalog and click Create App. I've already done that in the essence of time. So now, once it's running, once your app is running, which ours is, we can go to Node-RED and import the information right into Node-RED as live data. So remember that information that was coming across in the IoT Foundation, it still is, but it is also coming across from there into Node-RED. So the foundation is actually where all the information comes through. And we'll get into a little bit more of what the foundation can do in just a second. But I wanted to show you the ability that Node-RED has once you've gotten that set up. So now you have the chance to go in and actually make changes to the data and change the flow. For instance, we've got temperature here, we've got device data. We can simply turn it on and off with the click of a button, and we can also reroute things. So we have it coming in from the ARM embed sensor, which is what you see here, and then we show the device data and temperature. I've got it split out. Temperature is what we're going to focus on in this particular demonstration. So I've got temperature thresholds defined here. One, if it gets less than 40, greater than 70, it will show that. And I've got that turned off at the moment. The third one is what I would like to show you here. So if we can get the temperature above 30 degrees, it will display a message indicating that it's increased, right? Temperature has increased, and that should show in this debug screen. At the moment, the temperature's at 29.75. If I simply put my finger over top of the temperature sensor itself, we'll try to increase it up above 30 degrees Celsius. So it's at 28 currently. We'll try to make it a bit warmer here by applying a heat gun. So I'll go ahead and apply a heat gun to this, and we can see how to make this just a bit so let me go ahead and do that. Actually, if we just apply a little bit more heat, body temperature may increase it up over the 30-degree threshold. So let's try that. you can see that it's not indicating that there's any temperature increase. So we're just trying to get the temperature to increase here. Waiting for it to simply increase over the degrees of 30 degrees. And there you'll see that it's increased over 30 degrees. And it shows in the debug screen there that it has. So there are various ways that we can go about demonstrating this. The next step after this would be to go to part 2. Part 2 of the recipe indicates that, and we'll simply go down to the bottom here. Basically what I've shown you is the demonstration through Node-RED, which we've noted that you can turn on and off the different indicators, and we showed an actual temperature increase. You can also turn off the temperature increase and show, I've got it separately showing that it's within safe limits if it's between those two measurements that we mentioned. So if it's less than 40 or greater than 70, it's in a safe limit, which it would be less than 40, being at 29.5. So I've turned that off to demonstrate the increase, but you can do that as well. So again, let's go back to, and I can show you, if you're ready to go to the next step, part 2 of this recipe shows how to register your device into a private Internet of Things organization and then start pulling commands from it that way. So this really dives deep down into the connection of the same device, right, this device here, but you have the ability to make it a bit more private. You have the ability to manage devices. And you can add your device using a token, so authentication token, and that's where you would go with part 2 of this. And again, you can do all of the similar things from a Node-RED perspective through Bluemix, but this just makes it authenticated, so it's an authenticated device now inside of the IoT Foundation. So I will go ahead and wrap up now. If there are any other questions as far as showing this information, please let me know. But thank you for joining, and thank you for your time in allowing me to demonstrate this piece of the recipes section through IBM DeveloperWorks, as well as through the Internet of Things Foundation.